I want to talk about cash flow. Okay, cash flow is two four-letter words that get thrown around a lot, and they mean a lot of things to different people. But cash flow is what you should strive for if you want to change your financial life. In your own personal life business, you may or may not have cash flow, okay? If you're living paycheck to paycheck, you have no cash flow, okay? If you have a business that's breaking even or losing money, you have no cash flow. If you don't have any investments like stocks and real estate or notes that are making money while you sleep, then they're not generating any cash flow. I've created this diagram called the cash flow ladder. And you want to climb this cash flow ladder so that you create more cash flow in your life. Cash flow solves so many problems or challenges. If you want to get out of debt, you need cash flow because you're going to need to throw a little more money at this credit card or this store charge or this car payment. So if your goal is just to get out of debt, you got to have cash flow. If your goal is to save 3 to 6 months of living expenses in an emergency fund, well, you got to have cash flow. So that cash flow, that's like extra money that you can do things with, right? I know extra money is an oxymoron, but you have to have cash flow if you want to create a savings, right? If you want to save enough money and buy a down payment on a house, you got to have cash flow. If you want to start a side hustle or a side gig, okay, you got to have cash flow. I mean, just getting a set of business cards made, guess what? It costs money. Do you have the money for that, right? A website for your business, some marketing for your business. Are you buying inventory and reselling it? Are you buying raw materials and making a product? Whatever. If you want to start a business, you have to have cash flow, okay? If you want to go to the bank and borrow money, the bank wants to see that you have cash flow. And then if you want to buy stocks and bonds and mutual funds, where's that money coming from? If you want to invest, you've got to have some money left over at the end of the month to make investments. If you want to buy a rental property, typically if you're going to go to the bank, you got to put some money down. Even a private lender wants to know how much money are you bringing to the table. Well, if you're living paycheck to paycheck, you can't produce that extra money. It's cash flow. So cash flow allows you to move up that wealth pyramid to where you're buying, starting a business, and then hopefully that business creates even more cash flow than you had in your employee life. And then that cash flow from that business can then be used to make investments. And if you can get enough investments, then you can sell your business and be a full-time investor. And that's when the wealth and the personal and financial freedom and the quality of life really kicks in. But it all starts with cash flow.